Hi! So, this is another video. Chapter 25 naman to. Share-based compensation, cash settled compensation. Okay, so chapter 25 ha, all of the illustrations there, mas maikli ito kumpara sa cash settled, pero hindi ibig sabihin mas madali. Okay, so study hard. Here we're going to discuss the first illustration for cash settled share-based compensation. Remember the rule that we are actually measuring liability at its fair value, wherein the fair value is measured market value minus predetermined price. Kung hindi man binibigay. Pero kung bigay naman, wag ka na mag-compute. Okay? So, sabi sa illustration, ang bibigay ay share appreciation right or yung SARS. Okay? Tapos ay general manager isa lang. Okay? Yun daw ay binigyan ng predetermined price, na ang predetermined price daw is market value on January 1. Okay, so alam nyo na yun. And then, 20,000 service period dapat hanggang 2023, and the quoted prices are given. Yung quoted prices, they are the market prices. So, first we compute for, syempre, yung first year, 2020. Okay, so paano ba ko computein? The market value. So, the market value ng December 31, 2020 is 210. Okay? Minus the predetermined price, sabi ng January 1 daw, ay 200. Kaya, ang fair value mo is actually 10 pesos multiplied by 20,000. Okay? Multiply mo lang 20,000 na SARS. na SARS. Okay? Share appreciation rights. So, may total compensation kang 200,000. Do the magic. Alam mong 3 taon to, eh, ang kailangan mo lang first year, kaya times 1 over 3. Okay? Or divided by 3. So, ang total liability mo is actually 50,000. Okay? Sorry, this is not 3. It's 4. Okay? Sorry. It's 4 kasi 2020, January 1, 2022, December 31, 2023. 4 years yon. Okay? My mistake. So, ang expense mo, dahil yun naman, for the first year pa lang, 50,000 din. Okay? Ma'am, bakit may liability? Remember that ang cash settled share-based compensation is actually a liability. So, dito sa part na to, nandito yung accrued. Okay? Or yung throughout the years na magve-vest siya, yun yung mga i-recognize mong liability. Itong expense is actually for the year only. Okay? There will be sa sunod na illustration, papakita kung paano kapag may nag-exercise at mayroong mga hindi nag-exercise. So, next illustration ba naman? Okay? So, next. 2022. 21. Okay? 2021, again, market value, sabi sa given, you have 220 minus 200, your fair value is actually 20 pesos, times yung SARS na 20,000 is equal to 400,000. So, then, do the magic, times 2 over 4. Lalabas na ang liability mo for 2 years is 200,000. Okay? For 2 years, ha? Okay? Remember, nang ginagawa for this year only, ma-minus mo yung previous na expense from last year kasi nasa loob siya ng 200,000. Kaya, for this year, ang compensation expense lang ay 150,000. Okay? So, are we clear? Okay, next, 2022. So, na 2022, again, market value 240, predetermined price 200 equals 40 times 20,000. Okay, you have 800,000 times the magic for 3 years over 4. Kasi 3 years ang lumipas. You have total liability of 600,000. Okay. Remember na dumaan ang panahon, nag-recognize ka na ng 200,000, that's 50 plus 150. Kaya, i-minus mo yung ito. Ito na lang. Pwede naman kasing ito, 600,000 minus 50 minus 150. But why pahirapan ng sarili. Ito na lang, shortcut. Okay? 400,000. Okay? Kasi 50 plus 150, 200. Eh, yun din naman yun kasi cumulative lang. This is per year. Okay? Next, last year. For 2023. 2023, you have market price 250 minus predetermined price na 200. You have 50 times share SARS. Okay? Meron kang 1 million. Okay? Times 4 over 4, which is also 1. Kaya 1 million pa rin. And then, recognize your cumulative. Okay? So, 50, 150, 400. That's actually 600. So, 400,000 lang yung for 2023. Okay? So, ganyan lang. Ma'am, how do we record if ganito? Ano po ang JE? Journal entry. Your JE for this one, pag ganito, recognizing the expense, is actually debit, salaries, okay, and credit, accrued salaries payable. Okay, ma'am, pwedeng salaries expense, pwede naman. Okay, so let's try for 2023. Papasok mo lang yung 400,000 and 400,000. Okay, so ma'am, paano po kapag in-exercise na po siya noong 2024? Okay, so noong 2024, ang exercise date, ang gagawin mo lang, edi syempre, kung magkano yung accrued salaries payable mo, this one, kung magkano lahat ng accrued salaries payable mo sa 4 na taon, yun yung ibibigay mo kay empleyado. Okay, so sa 2024, you have debit, tatanggalin mo na siya as liability mo, salaries payable, and then credit, cash. Kasi kaya nga siya cash settled. Okay? Shortcut. Ariga, 1 million. Pwede namang hanapin mo yung journal entry. Okay? Yung 4 na journal entry. Paano kung hindi ka nag-journal entry at gumagawa ka lang ng mga column na yan? Yung pinakahuli, that's actually the cumulative. Okay? 1 million. Okay? So, basic. That's level 1. Okay? Level 1. Are we good? Okay. Okay, here's the scenario is merong SARS na not yet exercised at merong SARS na exercised. Okay, so anong gagawin natin yun in dealing with total compensation? Kasi parehas dapat kasama sa total compensation expense. Pero magkaiba po sila na measurement. Ang not exercise is actually measured at fair value. Ang exercise is at intrinsic value. Okay, so gagawin natin yon. So, illustration sa inyong book, page 905, makikita nyo doon yung mga given. May 500 employees down na should remain in the employment of the entity for 3 years. Okay? Then, next, given yung 100, 250, 150, yung po ay mga nag-exercise na ng kanilang SARS. Then, yung intrinsic value. Okay? So, let's start first with 2020. Okay? So, 2020, for 2020, we have SARS not exercise. Ang gagawin nyo lang is palibhasa, wala pang, siguro hindi pa nila alam ang value ng SARS nila. 500 empleyado, lahat hindi pa nila ginagalaw. Time, sabi, bibigyan daw ang kada empleyado ng 100 shares. Kaya ang SARS not exercised is 50,000. Okay? Then, hanapin nyo lang yung kanyang fair value. Naka-table din siya. Times 15. You have total liability of 750,000. Okay? 750,000. Do your magic. Times 1 over 3. Kaya total liability is 250,000. Okay? Always remember the magic, ha? This one. 250,000 your total liability. Wala, inipod-ipod ko ng fountain. Anyway, so wala tayong SARS exercise. Okay? Wala pa naman nag-exercise yung time na yon. And, intrinsic, wala. So, ibig sabihin, ang expense mo that year is 250,000. Okay? Next, 2021. 2021, the same. Wala pa rin namang nag-exercise. So, ulitin mo lang. 500 times 100, 50,000 times your fair value of 18, tingin kayo sa book, is equal to your total liability of 900,000 times 2 over 3. Meron kang accrued liability for that year na 600,000. Okay? Kaso, sabi natin, dahil nasa loob ng 600 si 250, ma-minus. Kaya, for the year, ang total expense ay 350 lang. 600 minus 250. Okay, so pwede mo ilagay yun. Wala naman kasi. Okay? Baliktad ang araw. Anyway, basta gets nyo na yun. Okay? 600 minus 250, 350. Okay? Next, 2022. Ito, medyo mas exciting to. Kasi may nag-exercise na. Okay? So, anong gagawin nyo? Ang sabi, yung not exercise. So, ang not exercise, meron daw nag-exercise na 100 employees ng 2022 ng kanilang SARS. So, ibig sabihin, 400 na lang yung not exercise times 100 is equal to 40,000. Okay? Times fair value. Kasi not exercised. Fair value, you have 800,000. Okay? So, wala na tayo nung kasi 2 years naman times 3 over 3 is 1. Okay, kaya 800,000 nasa loob si 250 or 350 or cumulative 600, tanggalin mo, kaya 200 na lang. Okay, 800 minus 600, 200,000. Okay, yun yung unang part. Meron tayo nito, ha. Dito, meron tayo niyan. Okay, for 2022. So, SARS exercise. 100 empleyado nag-exercise ng SARS. Remember, 100 employees times 100 shares is equal to 10,000 times intrinsic value na 15. Okay? Your total payment for that times 15 intrinsic value, ha? Nasa table din siya. 150,000. Okay? So, pag tinanong, what is the total compensation for 2022? You have to add 200 and 150. Okay? Kaya, total compensation is 350,000. Naintindihan po. Okay? Again, you have to add that from the not exercise SARS, yung kinumpit natin kanina, and that from the exercise SARS. Yeah, plus 350, plus 200 plus 150, it's 350. Okay? So, nung 2023, okay, in 2023, nag-recognize pa rin siya ng liability. Okay? 2023, you have 500. 500 minus may nag-exercise ng 2022. Ito yun. Minus yung nag-exercise ng 2023 na 250 times 100. You have 100 na SARS is equal to 15,000 times your fair value nasa table is equal to 315,000. Okay, dito ang connotation niya kasi tapos na yung 3 years vesting, hindi pa rin nila na-exercise. Buo na siya. Okay, times 3 over 3. Okay, parang vest immediately na siya niyan eh. Okay, then remember, dahil 350 na talaga siya, you have to deduct the cumulative. Ma'am, mas malaki yung cumulative kaysa dun sa for that year. At least, ibig sabihin, meron kang decrease in liability, decrease in expense. So, 315 minus 800, you have negative 485,000. That's actually for an employer, maganda yan. Kasi parang umunti yung babayaran mo. Okay? Decrease in accrued liability. Okay? Then, next, you have, syempre, merong nag-exercise, SARS exercise. So, nag-exercise nung year na yon, you don't need to include 2022. Okay? 2023 lang. So, 215 empleyado na nag-exercise times 100 shares times their intrinsic is equal to 25,000 times their intrinsic value na 20. Okay? Lalabas po si 500,000. Ngayon, ang tanong, how much is the total compensation expense for 2023? Okay? So, ang sagot, syempre, 485 negative plus 500, you have 15,000 net compensation expense. Mas maliit siya. Ano? Okay? So, yun. Next. Noong 2024, wala pa rin merong nag-exercise pa rin 150. So, you have to recognize it in 2024. Okay? In 2024, nung wala ka na-recognize na liability kasi parang okay ka na ng 2023. Okay? Next. So, dito sa part na to, wala na. Dito tayo. Okay? You have 150 employees na nag-exercise times 100 SARS is equal to 100, nga tama. 15,000 times intrinsic value na 25. You have total payment in 2024 na 375,000. Okay? Remember na merong kang accrued liability ng 2023. Okay? Dahil accrued liability na siya, kaya ng December 31, 2023, deduct mo siya. Minus 315,000. Why? Nag-reduce na kasi siya dito eh. Okay? And you have 60,000 compensation expense for 2024. Okay? So, nagigets po ba? Ganyan lang po siya na because you have an accrued liability in 2023 and natapos na yung vesting period niya dapat noong 20 kasi nag-start siya ng 2020, 2021, 2022, 2022 tapos na siya. 2023 may mga hindi pa lang talaga nag-exercise na ubos lang siya ng 2024. Ibig sabihin, you have to reduce your babayaran in 2024 ng iyong accrued na na-reduce na din naman siya noong 800,000 na liability noon. So, nagkaroon ka ng decrease. Ano? Yun yung 15,000 na ating ito yung 15,000 na nakuha natin. Kaya dinideduct mo itong 315,000, 375, 315. And ang total compensation mo na lang na babayaran for that year is 60,000. Okay? So, I hope you're getting it all. Okay? Ma'am, paano kapag deduction? Okay? Ito, negative. Paano siya JE? Kasi diba ang JE natin, salaries, ang usual is salaries, and accrued salaries payable. Pag gantong negative, baliktad. Accrued, kasi siya deduction sa salaries payable, debit salaries payable, credit salaries expense. Kasi parang natipid mo na siya eh. Okay? So, ganon. And then, ma'am, paano naman po nagre-record ng SARS exercise? Ito. So, pag SARS exercise, ibig sabihin, binayaran mo siya, ang JE niya is salaries expense, debit salaries expense, credit cash, kasi in-exercise niya, ibig sabihin, binayaran mo siya. Okay? Ma'am, paano naman po yung isa na ito sa baba? ID, debit, salaries, expense na 60,000 kasi yun yung expense mo, di ba? Nasa expense column. 60,000 and then, di ba may reduction ka ng accrued salaries payable kasi parang nabayaran mo na lahat. 315,000, tanggalin mo na siya. And cash, kasi ito yung buo mong babayaran, 375,000. Okay? So, parang itong accrued salaries payable na deduction, kasi tapos na yung vesting period so, dapat wala ka ng liability. Binuo mo na yung bayad sa 375. However, accounting standard tells us na we have to record actually kung ano ba talaga yung salaries expense na dapat i-record knowing na meron tayong decrease in liability ng last year. Okay? So, ganun lang siya. Hopefully, naintindihan nyo. Okay? Okay, now we have modification from cash settled to equity settled. So, dito, nag-iba ang isip ng management. Kalagitnaan ng vesting period, binago. Okay? So, illustration sa inyong book, it's actually page 908. Okay? So, sabi dyan, sa illustration, noong December 31, 2021, minodify yung agreement. Ika-cancel yung 50,000 SARs and papalitan siya ng 50,000 na share-based. Okay? Share options. Okay? So, ang gawin muna natin is before dumating si 2021, how do we recognize the share-based compensation cash settled? So, usually, yung usual natin ginagawa. So, for 2020, you have fair value. Kunin mo fair value. Again, fair value is market value minus predetermined price. Okay? So, your market value on December 31, 2020 is 120 minus your predetermined price is given 100 pesos. Okay? So, equals 20 ang yung fair value times yung SARs. Sabi, bibigyan daw ng 50,000, kabuuan na siya sa lahat ng empleyado, kaya ang liability mo, total compensation mo, is 1 million. Okay, however, magic, times 1 over 4. For this year, it's only 250,000. Sinakop na niya yung buong liability, 250,000, and for expense, you have 250,000. Okay? So, yun. That's your total liability. So, how do you record debit, salaries, expense, credit, salaries payable, accrued salaries payable. Okay? For 2021, ito yung inaabangan natin. Okay? So, before you proceed to modification, gawin mo muna yung dapat. Okay? Dapat kasi ang kasunduan, cash settled pa siya. So, market value, 140, predetermined price, 100, your fair value is 40, times 50,000. Ilalabas that your compensation is 50 times, ang hirap na ito, kasi diniretso niya. Okay, so this is 2 million, tama ba? Wait lang 50 times 40, yep, 2 million. 2 million pesos. Times 2 years, 2 over 4. So, lalabas, your total liability is 1 million. Okay, 1 million, pero you have to deduct, nasa loob niya yung first year, 250, kaya 750 ang total expense mo for that year. Okay? So, yun. 2021. Then, after you recognize this, you also recognize the journal entries muna. And then, you proceed with modification. So, sa modification, ang gagawin mo is, babalikan mo si Chapter 24 kung paano niya gawin yung equity settled. Ganun yung gagawin natin. So, dito tayo sa part na to. So, noong 2021, kailangan alam mo yung share options na binigay at yung kanyang fair value. Then, you have your, ano na yung tawag natin doon? Total compensation expense and the current compensation expense. Okay? So, ang SO noong December 31, 2021 as given, pagpapalit daw niya 50,000 SARs sa 50,000 na share options times fair value na 60. You have total compensation na 3 million. Kaso, remember that this was done in the second year. So, itong gagamitin mong fraction. Fraction, I'm sorry, times 2 over 4. So, your current compensation expense is 1.5. Okay? Hindi siya hagip. Okay, 1.5. total compensation expense. Now, what will we do? Sabi ni standard, you must know the difference between the total liability component and the equity component. Okay, so pagtamain natin, the liability component is actually 1 million. Ito yung dapat mong bayaran. This is your accrued salaries payable. Okay, ito yung dapat mong bayaran. Kaso, pumasok sa share options. Okay, the share options outstanding, naging 1.5 million na daw yung babayaran mo dapat na share-based compensation. That means, nag-increase ng 500,000 ang iyong compensation expense. So, you have to recognize that. So, paano ang journal entry dyan? So, ang JE natin, for that one, dito ko sa taas nalagay. JE, you cancel the accrued salaries payable, which is yung 1 million. Okay, cancel mo siya. 1 million. Then, recognize an increase in salaries expense. Debit, salaries expense, 500,000. And then, credit, syempre, share options outstanding. Yan na yung magka-partner ngayon. Hindi na yung, hindi na cash. Okay, kasi equity settled na siya. Okay? Oh, wait, babalik ko para kita niyo. Too fast, too fast. Okay, yan. So, ganyan po siya. Anyway, so, let's proceed. So, ibig sabihin, wala na tong part na to. Modified na kasi. Dito na tayo. Dito ka na lang titingin. The equity part. Okay? So, for 2022, sige, bomba pa. Okay? For 2022, dahil equity settled na tayo, you just need to know how much is the share options. Yung fair value naman, hindi nagbabago. And, 3 million pa rin siya. Then, dahil pa 3 taon na, 3/4. So, you have, total, hindi na naman siya mag-ano. You have total compensation expense na 2,250,000. Okay, remember na nasa loob niya si 1.5. Okay, kaya 2,250 minus 1.5, you have current expense na 750,000. Okay, this is your debit, salaries expense, credit, SOO na 750. Okay, hopefully naiintindihan nyo itong, kung nasasabayan nyo naman yung pagsusulat ko, magigets nyo. Hindi lang talaga magandang mag-column ako. Okay, anyway. So, next for 2023. Okay, for 2023, is that the vesting period? Yep. It is the exercise date. Okay? So, recognize muna tayo again. 50,000 times 60 is equal to 3 million times 4/4. So, 3 million. Then, deduct mo yung previous years na 1.5 at 750. Ay, deduct mo na lang 2,250. Okay, kaya you are left with, again, 750,000. Okay, so, yun. So, let's do the journal entries. Tanda pa. Journal entries on exercise date. Ano nga yun? Debit, cash. Debit, SOO. Credit, OS. Credit, SP. Okay? So, cash. So, sa cash, it is measured at option price. Again, ha? Exercise price or option price. Huwag kakalimutan. So, dito, 50,000 times 120. Okay? 6 million. Tatandaan, ha? Ang SOO, syempre, ito ang SOO mo. This is already cumulative. Okay? Huwag ka na mag-compute. Or huwag mo na hanapin sa GE. O huwag ka na mag-GE. Okay, if ikaw, ang problem naman tinanong SOO, pwede naman, para hindi ka malito, mag-GE ka na. Pero kung confident ka sa computations mo, gamitin mo na lang yung cumulative niya. Okay, then the OS at par. Okay, ang par value niya is 50,000 times 100, that's par value. So, this 5M, and then your SP, balancing figure. Or your option price plus the fair value minus the par. Okay? Ganun lang. Okay. Last illustration, page 912. So this one is pag may choice yung employee between cash settled and equity settled. Remember guys, dapat ang may choice ay employee para maging compound financial instrument siya. If hindi ang employee ang may choice at ang employer ang may choice, hindi po siya compound financial instrument. Okay? Remember again, employee dapat ang may choice, hindi yung employer ang may choice. Okay? So, yan. So, illustration 912. So, gagawin natin is sabi ng standard, you have to recognize partly liability and partly equity. Okay? And the equity component is actually computed if you deduct the fair value of the share alternative or your equity settled and the fair value minus the fair value of the liability at grant date. Okay? So, ito muna yung ating kunin para dire-diretso tayo. Okay, kunin natin yung equity component. Given sa problem, binigyan ka dyan, yung share alternative daw ay 12,000 shares ang ibibigay, samantalang kay cash alternative, 10,000 phantom shares. Ma'am, bakit po phantom? Kasi, hindi pa sure yung employer kung re-release nga sila ng shares, kaya phantom, multo, charing. Phantom shares muna ang tawag sa kanya. Okay? So, let's compute first for the fair value of the share alternative. Adjust natin yung screen. Okay? So, how do we compute this? You look for the fair value of the shares at fair value of the shares. Then, yung number of shares na ibibigay. So, here, you have 12,000 shares, sabi sa given. And, dun sa pinakadulo, 48 daw ang kanyang fair value. So, you have 576. Okay? Next, fair value of the liability at grant date. Hanapin niyo yung grant date. That's January 1. Ano yung fair value niya? So, ang phantom shares daw na ibibigay is 10,000. And then, you look at the fair value or the share price on grant date, that's 51. Okay? So, yun yung gagamitin mo. 51 at grant date. At grant date kasi, 51. Okay? So, you have 510,000. Minsan, you just have to follow what the problem says. Okay? Then, deduct ka lang. 576 minus 510, you have 66,000. Ito yung buong equity component mo. Okay? So, let's proceed now with per year. Start with 2020. Okay, sabi nga, partly liability and partly equity. So, ang gagawin natin is, dito tayo sa madali, kay equity part. Yung na-compute nating equity component na 66,000, siya yung gagamitin natin hanggang dulo. 66,000, yung shares daw ay may vesting date na 3 years. So, divide mo siya ng 3 taon, yung lagi natin ginagawa. And, ang lalabas po is 22,000 per year. So, kay equity, automatic, 22,000. Okay? Paano ang journal entry? Debit, SA, credit, SOO. Okay? For the liability component, you have to compute. Yung paano ang ating computation. Okay? So, yung share, yung SARS. So, you have 10,000 times the fair value on December 31. Okay? December 31, 2020. That's 54. Nasa problem. Hinanap ko pa kaya medyo matagal. Okay? So, you have 540,000. And yung magic times 1 over 3. Kaya your liability for the first year is 180,000. Okay? The next, 2021. How do you record this? Salaries expense, accrued salaries payable. Okay? 2021, dito tayo sa madali. So, sabi nga, 3 taon, 22,000. Okay? Easy. Dito sa kabila, you have, again, your 10,000 SARS times the fair value on December 31, 2021, that's 60, is equal to 600,000. Do the magic times 2 over 3. You have Dito ko ilalagay sa iba. You have 400,000. Then, alam natin, pang 2 taon to, nasa loob si 180, kaya deduct 180, lalabas per year, liability mo is 220,000. Okay? Next, 2022. Madali lang, di ba? You just need to maximize the use of columns. 2022. O, 3 taon. Kompleto ng 66,000 mo. Okay? For this one, let's do 10,000. Look for the fair value on 2020 times 65. You have 650,000. Okay? Then, deduct mo ulit, 180 minus 220, pahirapan mo pa sarili mo, ito na lang cumulative na 400, minus 400,000, lalabas, ang iyong for the current year is 250,000. Okay? So, tapos ka na. Your liability and equity components are already settled. Ngayon, ang tanong, paano po ma'am kapag ang pinili ay liability or yung cash alternative? Okay, gusto'y cash. So, paano ang JE niya? Ang magkakapartner po is accrued, salaries payable, share, options, kasi kailangan mong i-cancel to. Hindi na niya ginamit, ka-cancel mo to. And then, cash. And syempre, na nag-cancel ka, meron kang share premium. Okay? Your share premium actually, doon papasok sa SOO. Okay? ASP, your ASP. Ma'am, paano ASP? Eh, di yung pinakahuli, yun yung cumulative natin. Okay? 650,000. SOO, itong tatlo, 66,000. Ang cash, 650 kasi yun yung payable mo, 650, and then the share premium 66,000. Ganun lang po pag cash alternative. Okay? Pag equity, pag share alternative po, yung equity settled, ito po ay ang magkakapartner ay ASP uli kasi kakancel mo naman yung kabilang part, the liability part, and the SOO, the OS, and then the SP. Okay? Again, parehas lang, 650,000, that's a cumulative, 66,000 for your share options. Dito, ang multiply mo dito is yung 12,000. Ma'am, saan galing yung 12,000? Yun yung papamigay mo sa job kapag ang pinili niya ay share alternative, this one. Okay? 12,000 times par value niya, hanapin mo sa problem, given ang par na 25 pesos. Kaya, 300,000. And then, balance and figure share premium, 416,000. Okay? So, ganyan lang po siya. Madali lang, di ba? Madali lang siya. Mukha lang siyang matrabahong tingnan. Pero, if you use the right tools, like columns, and yan, okay na. Okay ka na. Okay? So, yun. Okay, nagets nyo ba? Okay, if you hindi nyo nagets, rerun the video. Okay, study more, and you may ask questions sa akin. Okay, tutulungan ko naman kayo. So, hanggang dun lang ang cash settled with an example ng ano kapag merong alternatives. Okay, so, yun lang. Stay safe, be kind, stay safe, do chores. Bye.